We are live. We are, yes, we are live. We are live. It is Friday Night Live on at Woolies. It is Friday and we are live, believe it or not. How is everybody doing out there? It is the 28th of the 10th, 22. That means we are fast approaching the dreaded C word, Christmas. Oh no. That is crazy. That is crazy. I cannot believe that it is going to be Christmas. Who's out there? Get into the chats. Let me know what's going on in your world today, because this is, of course, my world. So what has been happening with Woolly this week? Well, guys, let me see now. Let me see. It has been... Tom, how's it going? It has been a busy week for loads of different reasons, just loads and loads of reasons. I got 2 days out running saws, running the 365. I got some trees cut down. I intended to get more cut down, but of course, as always, everything went horribly wrong. Well, not horribly wrong, but it just went as predicted it would go. Like all the trees got hung up and stuff like that. And the usual crack, the usual crack, guys. But you probably would have seen. Have you seen any of that yet? I do not know. What else happened? Bill, how's it going? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What else has happened, guys? Well, we had the milestone during the week of 7,000 subscribers. 7,000 subscribers. 7,000 subscribers. Roddy, good man. How's it going? Guys, 7,000 subscribers is absolutely mental. Mental. Aaron, yes, it is. Of course, Stuart. If it's not dodgy wool, he's not doing it. It is like... I'm going to have to put my glasses on, sorry. Guys, it is... lost. I'm just completely lost myself now. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. 7,000 subscribers, guys. 7,000 subscribers. Can you believe that? 7 years, 7,000 subscribers. People were on to me the other day going, "Oh, Wally, I've been at it a year and I haven't hit 1,000 subscribers yet." And I'd be like going, "Well, do you know what, guys? It took me 3 years to get to 1,000 subscribers. So don't feel sad. Don't feel sorry for yourself. YouTube is something that is not a quick thing. Okay, it takes a long time. You got to build an audience. You got to find your niche and find your channel and find your voice and do all that stuff and find what works best for you. And then just start pumping out the content. Just get any old crap down there. It doesn't matter. Just shoot it all off downrange and see what happens. No, I'm joking. I actually spend... Believe it or not, I actually spend quite a lot of time on my content. Quite a lot of time. So, what else has been going on? The weather's been mental here. It's been really raining and really windy. Generally calmish during the day and hammering it down at night. Last night was absolutely hammering it down. But, so, that has been it. That has been... Mark, how's it going? That is what has been going on. And of course, then there is the McCullough. The McCullough. Where do I even start about the McCullough? My God of Almighty. The McCullough is just insane. Alistair, you're very welcome. Guys, it is just absolutely mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say. It's like Doug messages me and he's like, "Check this out," and I'm like going, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. It is just something like, what do you say? You know, I'm so grateful. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I suppose like it's really exciting. But it's just unbelievable. I think it's because I'm so far removed from it. It's not like Doug can go, this is here, look, Wally, put that in your hand. Tell me what you think of that. It's just, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that somebody would go out of their way. Simon, how's it going? Somebody would go out of their way to do that for me. It's just, yes, Benjamin, to do that for me, to build me a saw. I have no idea, Bill. An advanced cut and a VersaCut chainsaw saw blade. I don't know, but the organ bar that I run on mine is an advanced cut. I don't know what difference it makes. Let me just check. It mentions nothing there. Guys, if anybody knows the answer there, can help out Bill. Well, there you go. What does it, and in what way is it the bar profile? I have, this is the bar that I run on my thing all the time. Yeah, I know what it is, Bill. I just don't know the difference. I don't know. I don't know how, if Simon's saying there's a profile difference, but I don't know what the difference is, to tell you the truth. I've never put them side by side. I do know that I run that bar all the time, and it is 100%. I really like it. It's slightly curved. I don't know. Guys, answers in the comments. I don't know. Let me know what it is. A Homelight Super XL. What's a Homelight Super XL? See, now I need to go and check. Guys, listen. Oh, no way! There's one on eBay. They are cool. They are really cool. Wow, there's one on eBay for £225. That is a very cool chainsaw. A very cool and very old chainsaw. Get out of that there and come back to the things. And a Partner Pioneer. I don't know what that one is now. I need to go check this one as well. So for those of you who don't know, what I'm actually doing is I'm Googling stuff that I don't know the answer to. No, it's not coming up. Oh, that's like a Husqvarna. Like an old 80s Husqvarna. I'm stuck on something. But yes, so basically a little while ago, Doug said to me, I'm going to get you a Mac. I'm going to get you a 1010. And I was like, yeah, cool. You know, thinking to myself, how is he going to get me a 1010? I didn't believe it. I was sort of like, just like, okay, yeah, no bother. And then all of a sudden, it's like bang, 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 bang. And then everybody is digging stuff out of their sheds and throwing it into it. And it's like just amazing. It's just amazing. You know, I have seen some amazing things happen in the online chainsaw community, you know, and this is just another one of them. You know, you go on to certain websites and certain Facebook pages and stuff like that, and there's a lot of crap. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of people putting each other down, and you know, it's stuff like this that just sort of breathes life back into it. You know, it's like a selfless thing. You know, it's just unbelievable. I can't. What can I say? What can I say except thank you to everybody and everybody who's involved. I can't wait to get it into my hand. I'm actually sitting here today thinking to myself, I need to start getting some decent wood and putting it aside for when I get the saw so I can run it and do it justice. Chippy, you said it. You know, it's just unbelievable. Doug, thank you very much. I know you're out there listening, man. I can feel it. I can feel it in my waters. He's close, man. real close. So it's just, yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? It's just unreal. Unreal. Well, he has made the connections, hasn't he? He's worked hard at it. He has worked hard getting stuff off the ground and getting his own stuff off the ground as well. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. And I suppose we could, the firewood tonight is the letter M. Get some suggestions in there. Mac is obviously a very, very good one that we could talk about. But the thing is that I know nothing about them. I know nothing. I know that they're a really cool old school chainsaw that, you know, when I would have thought of a chainsaw growing up, that's what I would have pictured. M for mall, that is something I know a lot about it. Mac and cheese, yes. Mackie D's. Mall. Let us kick off our firewood A to Z. Letter M. Look, I'm keeping a score. I'm writing it down. I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice so that we don't get lost again. So that means next week is N. N for what? Yeah, we have ticks. Yeah, we have ticks. And we have Lyme's disease as well. And they are not something you get them in the same places as you guys do, but we don't have a lot of deer, so it's not that big. There is cases of Lyme's disease and stuff like that, but there's not. It's not very relevant. But yeah, so when I did a video 2 years, I'm going to say 2 years ago, I did a video called "Just a Knife Overnight Challenge." It's not. I've taken it off Woolys World and I've actually re-uploaded it onto Red Branch Bushcraft, my other channel, and where I went up the mountain with just a knife and 1 pound's worth of food, and I stayed out overnight. So, and I had to make a shelter, start a friction fire, and cook my food, which was just some can of like curry and rice or something that was terrible. So what I did was, so I made a bed, you know, filled it up full of leaves, made a shelter over the top of it, but debris shelter, piled it up with leaves. It was very uncomfortable. But the next day when I went home, because we used to do a lot of hill walking and stuff like that, I'm always aware of ticks and spent a lot of time in high hills where deer would be and goats and all that stuff. So I did a tick check when I came home. 18 ticks. I had 18 ticks on me. Crazy. 18 ticks. Can you believe that? But I have no solution to them. I have heard people say about putting tiger balm around your ankles and stuff like that, so because they won't crawl up past it. But a lot of the time they'll crawl up your clothes and, you know, and find their way in underneath your t-shirt and stuff like that. They're dirty little beggars, you know. I remember one time a good few years ago being on a hill walk and an overnight camp with a group and standing there, and I was standing there with another instructor and we were talking to the group, and I was just standing there and I went, oh, and I just walked away and got into the tent, and he came over and he says, he like hit the side of the tent. He says, you all right? You all right? So it was obviously very noticeable that something had happened. I said, listen, tick just bit me right on the bottom of the old. Swear to God, boy, swear to God. I was like, my God of Almighty, I had to remove that one. So yes, I felt it. I felt it. Normally you don't feel them. Yeah, it's the bullseye you got to watch out for. That's Lyme's disease, isn't it? And you guys in the States, isn't there red star disease or something as well? Is that what you call it? The one that makes you allergic to meat? Lone Star disease? Is it the Texas thing? I'm not sure. Now, these were they all bit into me. No, I just very carefully, we just picked them out. Lone Star Tech, yeah, that's it. No way, Stuart. You had to go to America for treatment. No way. Yeah, it was a battle zone down there, Simon. It was crazy for 5 minutes. Yeah, and that's them. And and they're tiny little buggers. My God, they're tiny little buggers. I can't believe you had to go to America for treatment. How long ago was that, Stuart? Manual labor. Very enjoyable manual labor, I have to say. I haven't split any wood for a while. I was supposed to split some today and I never got around to it. Yeah, it's very limited. It's very limited. And I tell you, Stuart, I only did a lot of research into it because well, it's something that you would look at in the outdoors anyway. But I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I would have thought that fibromyalgia and Lyme's disease are very, 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 very similar. So I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I have Lyme's disease. I've been bit by a lot of ticks. Do you know what I mean? So wow, that's unreal. I can't believe that. Well, Sogs, how's it going? When did I start getting adverts on the telly? You're gonna have to explain that one, Roddy. Not bad, buddy. Not bad. Oh, I'm sure, Chippy. I'm sure. I'm sure it's just mind numbing. Mind numbing. I don't understand sometimes. It's like to put these things on the TV. It's like that whole crack with Johnny Depp and whatever you call that woman. Like that whole thing was on TV. And I know people whose entire life was sitting watching that. Yeah, still cutting them, still cutting them. Still cutting those little matchsticks. Chippy and Sogs, you two boys are on the same wavelength. You see that in the comments there? So I was actually cutting down a couple of matchsticks yesterday. Not anymore, Simon. Simon, a large part of the channel was fibro for about 2 years ago, I think, and I just sort of got myself out of it. I just sort of there was an anxiety issue there as well, I think, and a back pain issue and uh, chronic painkiller use and stuff like that. It just was a whole big heap of a mess. I was never really sure what was going on. They diagnosed me with fibromyalgia, and it was me that took the fibromyalgia to them. So I was never really 100% positive that's what it was. It could have been a whole heap of mental health things that were exacerbated by taking cocodamol for about 3 years, and also being given uh, levels of antidepressants as painkillers and not as antidepressants. There could have been that sort of an issue as well. So thank you. You're the best. Chronic fatigue is tough, boy. Chronic fatigue is tough. Stuart, I it's hard to know. At the time, I would have said, yeah, I definitely had fibromyalgia, and I would have said yes. I was in bed every day. I was getting if I didn't get up, if I get up any later than 8 o'clock, my day was ruined, and I wasn't fit to do anything. I had brain zaps and everything. Uh, Mosquito. So, Chippy, they have held your mosquito comment for some reason. So, well, you see, this is it, Simon. I've had stomach issues for a long time. So I had a thing called Helicobacter or triple bacteria, to call it. And I probably got that in my early 20s, and it was undiagnosed for about 10 years, right? So I was always feeling sick all the time and stuff like that. So that led to anxiety in certain situations where I would have felt sick all the time because of the Helicobacter, which then, and then I hurt my back. And then I was taking a lot of painkillers, and then I started having panic attacks and anxiety issues, which I associated with the fact that I was on these 8 cocodamol a day because of my back, and it just was a whole load of shit just all rolled up together and just fired against the wall, basically. So it took me a long time to get my head around it, and took me a year and a half to get off the medication that I ended up being on long term. For 5 years I was taking antidepressants as a CNS, as a central nervous system depressant, to stop pain from the fibro and from my back issues. So basically I went from being really fit and lifting weights and stuff like that to not doing anything for about 5 years, and then I slowly started getting myself out of my slump. And firewood did a lot of it for me, guys, and YouTube did a lot of it for me, because it forced me to get out there and forced me to do stuff. And so, but some of the times I'd be making videos and, be all funny, yeah, split mud and everything, going inside and going to bed, shit like that. So there was a bit of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde stuff going on. So what ended up happening was I realized that these drugs I was taking were not good for me. I was having some life things were happening. People were dying and stuff like that, and things were happening in my life where I should have been upset, and I wasn't upset at all. I was just like this. So the way I would describe it, guys, and I did tons of videos on this, but I actually removed them from the channel when I really was knuckling down on the channel and trying to make the channel successful. I didn't remove them. I unlisted them, so they're still there, but they're private. Only I can watch them, because it's to do with this niche thing and knowing your audience and stuff like that. So I would have people who would watch my fibro videos but wouldn't watch my chainsaw videos, who wouldn't watch my bushcraft videos. So I had too many different topics going on at once, so I had to narrow it down. So but it's, so if you're taking antidepressants, right, your mood is supposed to go like this, up and down. You're happy, you're sad, you're happy, you're sad. You're in the middle, something happy happens and it goes up like this and it goes down, and that's basically the way it is, right? So, but if you take long-term antidepressants, your mood just stays like this. That's what happens. You become a robot. You have no emotions, happy or sad. So it's like nothing is a problem. You can do anything because you are a robot. You don't care. There's stuff going on with your kids that you should be absolutely happy and in tears of joy. And you're just like, what? This is nothing to me. So it's, yeah, I did all that stuff, self-medicated stuff. Sogs did all that stuff. Not CBD oil is it's not the CBD oil you want, it's the illegal stuff you want. Diet, monitoring and changes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, this was part of it as well. So like I was taking cocodamol, which is codeine and paracetamol, and codeine is a morphine based painkiller, and when that synthesizes in a certain way in your kidneys or in your liver, it makes you really sleepy. So I would, you have no energy, and you end up in this vicious cycle of having a good day and then doing loads of stuff, and then having a bad day and not being able to do anything, and then spending like 2 days in bed, and then being better and having a good day, doing loads of stuff and having a bad day. So I used to say that I would have a chronic pain cycle and a chronic fatigue cycle that would work like this all the time, and sometimes they would combine, and it would just be like you'd be knocked out for 3 days. You'd just be in so much pain, your joints and everything like that. And sometimes I still get the elbow, like pains around my elbow and stuff, but I didn't do anything that drastic to change it. I just sort of got myself out of my slump. So this, a lot of the times I would say that a lot of the times me personally, I think that, there may be some sort of a mental block that you're not aware of. This is it. So some people who have mental issues, like, not mental issues is the wrong word, that maybe have have chronic depression or something like that, or have some other something up with their head, and it's obvious, right? But there's loads of shit going on in people's heads that they don't even know about, and this could be how it just manifested in me. That's what I sort of started to think. But I started taking loads of vitamins and protein shakes in the morning with turmeric and magnesium and all these different things, and I just sort of started getting more active and getting around it, and it has been last 2 years. It has been definitely the last year. It has been good. So, Ross on the land, how's it going? Stuart, it was tough, and it was in lockdown as well. So, Sogs, stoicism is something I have recently got myself into, and a lot of it is it gives you clarity, right? There's one statement that I think says so much more, and I see it to myself all the time, and it's this: I will not suffer imagined troubles. What that means is that, why am I sitting here thinking about stuff that is making me feel bad, that has never happened and will never actually happen? So 99% of the stuff that we think about in our heads doesn't actually come to fruition. And that is the shit that drives you nuts. That's exactly what it is. So, you're the best. You got it. Yes. So, it is. I am learning about it. It just is something that has appealed to me. And guys, listen. I am not the you know. I am not the personification of healthiness and mental well-being. Definitely not. But I am aware of it and I'm working on it. This is the thing. So I believe that to have therapy, right? To do therapy of some sort is so bloody good for you. It is so good for you, right? You know, you don't need to be this person who has chronic this or chronic that, or is manic depressive, or is anything like this here, to do therapy. It is so beneficial, so beneficial, whether physical and mental, so physical ability is a massive part of it as well. So for me, being able to get up in the morning and do a workout and stuff like that, is it's very hard when I can't do it. That's what I mean. So that's what I think. Oh. This is it, right? When it comes to stoicism and stuff like this, right? You are the opening prayer of Alcoholics Anonymous, right, is based on stoicism, on the stoic principles, and basically means that if there is something that you cannot change, you should not let that bother you, right? Now that's very simple to say, right? But it's putting it into practice is the hard part, right? So I would agree with that. But I am the master of living inside my own head and driving myself crazy and building myself up with anxiety about something that might never happen, and all it takes, you know, it's a very fine line. It can be a very fine line, because if you are chronic anything, right, this is what I learned from all my research, and it actually goes way back to when I was learning about coaching processes and how to teach people different adventure sports and stuff like that, right? So the brain is smart, right? Very smart. So if you are constantly doing the same things over and over again, right, the brain shortcuts them. It's like a shortcut on your computer, so your brain can go there quicker, right? So imagine this is a little man in your brain, and this is the part of your brain of happiness, right? And you are happy all the time. Well, that little man is moving, that impulse is moving back and forward between here and the happiness, right? And it wears a pathway, right? So what that means is that your first thought of your brain when anything happens is to be happy. Yay! Okay. But it works both ways. So for me, what I think, because I spent those 15 odd years feeling sick all the time, that nausea became my neural pathway. So anytime anybody suggested to do something, I automatically went, oh, I'm going to feel sick when I do that. And that became my neural pathway. And that led on to anxiety, and that led on to panic attacks and stuff like that, right? So the thing, what you have to try and do is you have to rewire your neural pathways, right? This is mad stuff to be talking about, boys. Thought we were going to talk about chainsaws. Excellent songs. Great to hear. So that's what it's about. It's about rewiring your neural pathways, right? So it works both ways. If you spend all your time saying no, that means that you are living in what we would term as your primitive brain. Not me. I don't term it as your primitive brain. People way more educated than me, that's what they call it, okay? And that is responsible for our fight or flight, right? That's the bit when you went to walk outside and there was a bear there 1,000 years ago, you went, no, I'm not going out today, okay? Because that bear is going to rip me up and going to eat me, okay? So that's what it does. Your brain does not understand the difference between perceived threat and real threat. Your brain doesn't understand that, okay? Neuro-linguistic programming. If your chainsaw keeps requiring me to retighten the chain no matter what I try, is it me or the chainsaw? No, that's your chainsaw. There's a couple of different things could be on there. Your chain could be a little bit too big for your bar, or it could be that your chain tensioner has become wrung. That happened to me. My chain tensioner got wrung and I had to replace it. And they're very easy to replace and they're very cheap to buy. And like I got one for the 181, which is a really old discontinued saw, Husqvarna saw. And I think I got it on eBay for like 99p, and you could have bought 3 of them for £3. Doug, my man, thank you very much, buddy. So that's what I think. That'll help as well. That's a good point from Simon. Doug, I don't know if you caught the start, but I was basically here telling everybody how amazing you were. Neuro-linguistic programming. Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can reprogram the brain, right? So here is the way, right? So constant forcing, fake it till you make it is quite a good plan. So if you are forcing yourself to be happy all the time and do happy things and think happy thoughts, eventually that will just be that's the way it is. Another way you can do, yeah, another thing you can do, yeah. So what happens is, it's only just a little plastic bolt in there, right? So when you're twisting it, it's just moving along that bolt, right? So what happens is that the threads on the bolt wear down, or on the male part. That's what happened mine. So when you were tightening it and it would get to a certain tightness, because the tension is too much, it would just slip back a little bit all the time. So the tension was always going out of the chain. Woodcutter, how's it going? So it's like, so by constantly thinking happy stuff and doing a bit of psychotherapy meditation, which forces you into the frontal cortex of your brain. So if you read a lot, it's generally not an issue because you're imagining stuff all the time, and being in that imagination part of the brain is really good for you. So learning music, learning a language, doing art, all these things are really good for your brain because they keep you in this part of the brain and not in this part of the brain. And what else is happening? Good man, Sags. Or what they actually have discovered is that the connection between the evolution of mankind and the use of psychedelic mushrooms would have been a big part of it as well. So I watched this thing about a study about these people who had chronic depression and who were taking medication for at least 20 years and the medication was not helping them. And this was an NHS study. So what they did was they with a psychologist and with a doctor, they took them into this hotel room and they wired them all up and they give them what they call a heroic dose of magic mushrooms. I don't know what that is, how much that is. Basically, they give them a ton of magic mushrooms and they sat with them and made sure that they were safe, and they monitored their brain waves. So basically, if you imagine that their brain was going like this with those two impulses that were going to the depressive state all the time before they took the magic mushrooms, after they took the magic mushrooms, their brain was firing all over. Their whole brain had been, everything that could work was working again. And they found that these people didn't need any medication for at least 6 months after taking those magic mushrooms. Now, can you imagine the difference that was to those people's lives? That would help my brain unless I landed a tree on it, Suggs. No way! No way, Doug. That's amazing. That is amazing. The stoned ape theory, pretty much, Simon. Yeah. That is unbelievable, Doug. Unbelievable. Unreal. I don't know what to say, Doug. I really don't. I'm at a loss for words. Well, this is it, woodcutter, right? It's like this, and yeah, well, you see, this is the thing, Alistair. So the mushrooms would stop people taking antidepressants, which was a massive, massive pharmaceutical profit maker. So this is what I mean. It is, Doug. It really, really is. It's crazy, Chippy. It's crazy. So maybe you actually were flying a helicopter, but you'd taken the mushrooms and you thought you were sitting in the chair. Listen, here's the thing, right? There's a whole load of stuff out there that we don't know. There's a whole load of stuff out there that our great ancestors who danced around the forest would have known, okay? And the benefits of different things for different things that we have lost. And we know this, guys. We talk about this all the time. We have lost our connection to that. We've lost our connection to nature. We've lost our connection to self-sufficiency and hunter-gatherers and all this sort of stuff, right? It is not out of the blue to think, right, hang on a second, maybe these people are onto stuff. Like, they are finally starting to do scientific tests into this stuff, right? And they know that cannabis heals a lot of stuff, okay? And not smoking spliffs or anything like that, but they know that if you take it in certain forms, that it helps so many things and it will actually cure so many things. But they can't control that. So that's what I think. Pharmaceutical companies run the world. If COVID has taught us anything, pharmaceutical companies run the world. So lion's mane's mushroom does, yes. I used to take lion's mane. I don't take it anymore. Exactly, Suggs. Exactly. Good man, Roddy. Good man, Roddy. Yeah, well, this is it. Like, and yourself, Roddy, myself, we come from two societies where the you know, alcohol is such a big thing, right? Such a big thing. Ireland alcohol is so massive, right? You know, it is just everywhere. Everything you do involves alcohol. Everything, every social event, everything you go to is all based around drinking, getting hammered, everything. And you know, a good man songs. Me too. I give it up. Jesus, I don't know. 12 years ago this year, 12 years ago next year. Peppy, how's it going? You know, so, and the thing about it is, to be a non-drinker in Ireland is to have a disease. That's what it is. Good man, Stuart. It's, you know, that's what it's like. It's like you have a disease. You know, so they I think what drinkers think of a non-drinker is like it shows up their drinking or something. Not like that I ever really think about that. Uh, yeah, Simon, that's what I did. After Lily was born, I gave up. I just couldn't handle it. 17 years ago off the cigarettes, that's good as well, but that's really good. Cigarettes are something that I dabble in the odd time. So it is it's weird. It's weird. It's one of these things that I can just sort of walk out the door and just start smoking, and then 6 months later just give them up. You know, it's gone. Put them away. Never go back. But if I drank, I would smoke. I know that. So like they say all this crack about drugs and stuff like that, about smoking weed and about magic mushrooms and stuff like that. You know, the very low end, what I would class as low end, they would say, "Oh, it's a gateway marijuana. It's a gateway drug." No, it is not. It is not. No, it's not. Okay, alcohol is the gateway. Alcohol is the key that opens all the doors to the madness. You know, so that's what I think. That's what I think. But you know, Chippy, for a long time, concerts and stuff like that were a massive issue for me with not being drunk. You know, when I stopped drinking and stuff, massive anxiety and stuff. And you go like I would go out and I do not enjoy myself. You know, I just don't. I'm on edge all the time and I can't relax. It's only when I go back afterwards and I can relax. Now I do. I went to the last concert I was at, last decent concert I was at was the Foo Fighters. Jesus, I don't even know how long that could have been. 5 years ago. It was before lockdown, you know, and I enjoyed that, right? But at that stage, I was medicated, you know. So, uh, yeah, you completely do, Stuart, don't you? It's like there's something wrong with you. Salt is a gateway. I have, Simon. I have. It's very. It's. I tried it for a little while, right? And what I found was that it increased my anxiety because I wasn't doing it properly. That you need Sogs, I used to do the same. Not in Somerset, but over here. Wooly is the gatekeeper. So yeah, that's tough, boy. That's tough, Chippy. It's tough. Anxiety's a nightmare, boy. A nightmare. Absolutely. It just turns you from a happy, fun-loving person into this person who just would rather not leave the house. And it's so difficult to explain to people. Somebody who doesn't have it, it is just you're trying to explain something alien to them. They're like, because they just don't understand. You know, they can't, right? Like how do you explain it? People say, "Oh, come on out for a meal. I want to buy you dinner." Nah, I don't want to go. No, don't want to go. No, 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 no. My brain's telling me that if I go to this dinner, I am going to die. And because my brain's telling me that, my body thinks it's real. Pat, how's it going? We are delving into the depths of the mind here. Well, just don't have the vodka, you know. This is the thing. What a crazy topic of conversation. How did we get on to this? How did we get on to this? We were going to talk about malls, weren't we? Or will we keep this going? Well, look, this is the thing. No, M. I have 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, and I enjoy them. But what I've recently discovered is that I don't. I'm not finishing a lot of my coffee, especially my morning coffee. But it's M for mental health. That's it, Simon. That's it. It is, Stuart. It's super important. Super important. That's exactly it, Pat. Exactly. It's crazy. But this is it. People think when you talk about mental health that you're talking about depression. Depression, right? There's so much more to it than that. Okay. They should talk about mental strength, not really mental health. Okay. Maybe change the classification. Talk about men's mental strength. Okay. And how to become mentally stronger. So like I was reading this thing when I was getting back into working out, just January when I started banging out my workouts four times a week. No, because we did air last night or last week. Well, Sogs, this is how it goes, and I think as men get older, we appreciate our own company more. I think that's what it is, and that's part of it. But I think it's also a dangerous part of it. Your gut plays a massive deal with your mind. Massive. That's where all your happy hormones are made, is in your gut. Well, 90% of them. So this is where I think where my whole big spiral of life started. Now, this would have started when I was 20-ish, and I was drinking hard then, like drinking hard. So and I think it was having these stomach issues that I just always thought was a hangover, right? Yes, same Sogs. I talk to myself. I call it a morning meeting. But so I think just sitting on your ass and expecting things to get better is the worst thing you can do. I think that you need to go out and you need to, well, you don't need to go out, but you need to start somewhere. You need to read something. You need to look at a video. You need to find something that resonates with you, So I was always interested in doing challenges. I always used to like challenging myself. And that's why I'm now doing this dip a day challenge. Do you know what I mean? So, which I'm probably going to continue and do it in December as well, I think, for my local charity. So physical exercise definitely is a massive help, woodcutter. I think it builds by sticking to a regime of physical health, right? So if you say to yourself, I am going to get up tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and I am going to do a workout. And if you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do a workout, and then you continue to do that, you are being disciplined, okay? And having discipline in your life is good for your mental health, okay? Now, sometimes I'll say to myself, and I'll press the alarm and I won't get up till 7. And then I'll do my workout, at like 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And that wrecks my day. It really does. And I think to myself, why? 6 o'clock in the morning is a hard time to get out of bed. It is a state of mind. Yeah, you're right, Doug. It so is. It so is. It's like, get up, make your bed, eat and drink. Yes. And they say don't have coffee until at least an hour after you are awake, or otherwise it will affect your circadian rhythm. If you find yourself being really tired at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it means that there's something wrong with your wake up schedule. You're not doing it right. Yes, the vagus nerve. Yeah. Well, you see, if your gut is not producing the right bacteria and you're having gut problems, then your happy hormones are not being created correctly. And this is what, you know, so there's a massive connection between people with anxiety issues and gut issues. People with IBS and stuff, you know, people who have anxiety generally have some form of like, sorry, not generally, you know, can have some form of IBS or something like that, you know, so well, this is what they reckon. These are the things that they have found. So like I eat kimchi and I drink kefir in the morning with my protein shake and all these things to try and get my guts back to normal. And I am still in therapy at the minute, and I was doing therapy before, and I was doing it every week. A good friend of mine got me involved in it. She was training to be a psychotherapist, and as part of her training, she had to do like a 10-week therapy course with somebody. So she was doing it with me, and then she put me on to somebody else, this really, really cool guy, and I did his training. So he was training, so he was taking me through these psychotherapy things online. We talk, and then you listen to this meditation at night before you go to sleep. And basically, what's happening is if you are not sleeping at night, right, you're lying awake and you're thinking of crap and like stupid stuff running around your head, right? It's a problem with your REM sleep, right? So this is the way they explain it to me. You imagine all the stuff that goes on during the day, all your thoughts and processes sits in a little waste paper basket in the middle of your brain, right? So when you go to sleep and you have a good deep sleep, your REM sleep is processing that stuff and getting rid of it, right? Processing that stuff and getting rid of it. So if you don't get that processed, and that just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then you're not sleeping at night because you're thinking about this stuff that is not important and would probably never happen. You are killing yourself in your imagination every night, you know. So I don't mean like thinking about killing yourself. I mean, like you're being hard on yourself and doing all these things and thinking about past stuff and all this, right? That is the reason why. So by listening to this guided meditation, you're basically imagining what this person is saying. And what that does is it tricks your brain into REM function, and your brain starts to reorganize all this crap in your head while you're listening to this meditation. Very effective, very, very effective. And it was really good, and I was really coming around, and I was at a really good stage and stuff like that. Then I got my COVID vaccine. And it all went out the window. Out the window. Sogs, amazing. Me too. Me too. I swim for an hour every Tuesday, and I'm up to 2,300 meters in an hour. Brilliant. No, Pat, that's perfect. I have received a fair few bangs to the head. I don't think I've ever been knocked out. Do I have a real booking special? Yes, Bill, I do. Do you want to see it? It's right here. It's right here. I can show it to you if you want. Not only is this a booking special, but he actually gave this to me. I didn't buy it. And it is a little, I had the choice of any axe that he made. He said, pick any axe you want. I won a giveaway a long time ago to get booking to see who could get booking the most amount of subscribers, to bring in subscribers to the channel. This could have been around 10,000 subs, maybe less even. And I brought in the most amount of subscribers. And I got this because I am into bushcraft, and I thought this was more suited to me than some fancy Black Raven double bit. Oh, I regret that decision. Yeah, you're right. So this is a Grand Furs Brooks 1.5 pound Swedish vintage axe, and it is extra special because it's flawed. So he did something when he was making the handle, or something happened with the handle, and it's slightly kinked out to one side, and he named it Kinky, and this is Buchan's Kinky Axe. And I used it quite a bit. Used it quite a bit. Well, Butlers, how's it going? Yes, Aaron, thank you. I will make a Discord server. No, I'm not. Portugal Prepper, how's it going? Bill, it is a very nice axe. A very nice axe and a very underused axe. It hangs on my wall, and I'm happy enough with that. I have a lot of axes. So, good man, Pat. So, it is important. It is the whole reason behind Let's Split This as well. You know, so when I first came up with Let's Split This, I tell you what happened is that somebody probably died. Somebody probably killed themselves in my life or in my surrounding area. And at the time, I had been thinking a lot about men's mental health. So, of course, it's always in the back of my mind because I'm always thinking about my own and how to make it better and stuff like that. So what happened was something happened, and or I saw something that had happened, and there was some sort of, that's what happened. Yeah. So there was something going around in the bushcraft community. It shows your steak challenge or something like that. And it is where people were out in the woods and they were cooking steak on their fire, and you're talking about men's mental health, right? And it was just one of these things to just sort of highlight the issues with men's mental health. So nice. That's right. That's right. And so but not in the right order. Yeah, so that's, yeah, and that's probably sleep as well. You know, not having good sleep would not help that as well. So I couldn't figure out. I was trying to think of a way to get our community involved. Now I'm a bushcrafter and stuff like that, but I'm not very involved in the bushcraft community. It can be toxic. I really found it sometimes to be quite toxic. Now, don't get me wrong, there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of really good people in it. Like, but I don't know, something happened. Oh, I know what. Yeah, but anyway, so basically, I knew already that the wood cutting saw firewood community was, you know, everybody was so happy and supportive of each other. As long as you weren't a professional arborist, those boys are cutthroat. Oh my God, if you go onto their pages, you can do nothing. They will just rip you to bits. And they will, what am I doing on the weekend of the 5th of December? So that is remarkably specific right there. I would probably be working, I will say. I work every weekend. I work every Saturday and Sunday. So, is it? Morge. Yes. So, of course, Butler, of course. So, I just was like going, how can we get this community to highlight the issues of men's mental health and stuff like that. And I'm actually thinking now I'm going to change it to men's mental strength. I think instead of men's mental health, let's start promoting men's mental strength. You know, how to I know it look, and this is the thing, when I did it the first time, it was myself, Adam from Hometown Acres, it was, where were the other boys? Jesus, there was 2 other boys that got involved as well, and it went a little bit, and it got a little bit, but then it just sort of died a death. And myself and Doug and a couple of the boys had been in a live stream like this. We had been talking about it and how to bring it back. And the second time we did it, Jesus, it just went, didn't it, boy? It was just It was unbelievable. There's still stuff coming in about that. There's a guy called Bluegrass Outdoors or something, I think, messaged me about it, and he did a video recently and all, and it's just crazy. Just, you know, it's just one of these things that just keeps going and going, you know. It's brilliant to highlight it, and because it is something that just we don't, you know. I'm a man. What does that mean? I'm a man, you know. Nothing bothers me until everything bothers me, and I can't handle it anymore, and I have a nervous breakdown, and I'm crying in the shower for no reason, you know. Okay. I get you, Sogs. Yeah, Greencraft. Yes, I think I'm sub to him. It's a very strange thing, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's something that probably led me down the path of learning more about it. And I was always interested in the physical side of it, you know. So I enjoy. I would have done a lot of emergency medicine and learned a lot of loads of first aid courses and an EMT course, 6-month first aid course and stuff like that. And, you know, so I was really into anatomy and physiology and all that sort of stuff. And so it's just a step, isn't it? It's just a step to start thinking about the physical side of it and start thinking about the mental side of it. And I think it's good for us to do that. I really, really do. I don't see any negativity in it. How can there be negativity when we're learning about ourselves and we're learning about what makes us tick? You know, when you're sitting and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I really feel really shitty today. You know, oh, my brain's all over the place and blah, blah. Why does my head hurt? And, you know, and all these things. And then you learn, well, it's actually because this is going on, or you're unbalanced on this side, or you're you know, instead of just thinking that, oh no, you know, there's no reason for this to happen. I must be going crazy. You know, I'm going to go out and I'm going to kill myself. Be thinking to yourself, well, it's actually because my REM sleep is not functioning properly, and all I actually need to do is just go onto YouTube and find a meditation video and listen to that a couple of times, and I will be okay. You know, you know, it's as simple as that. Unfortunately, Sogs, that is true. Stuart, I do. I think I've hit something there. And this is it. This is it. Yes, it sure was. We should do it again. We should do it again. We should do it again, and we should start some sort of a men's mental strength club based around Let's Split This, where we promote positive mental strength in men and different ways of doing it, like ice baths and wrestling bears and hunting dinosaurs and stuff like that. You know, all the stuff that men do. So there's nothing more I can think of to say on that. Guys, this was a very... It is definitely okay not to be okay. And the majority, this is the bloody truth, the majority of people are not. Okay? They're not okay, okay? Okay? Drugs are bad, okay? So, you know, and this is it. It is normal. It is normal. You know, it's the stigma that's attached to it. Oh, yeah, he's got depression. Okay, everybody has depression at some stage in their life. Do you know what I mean? It's normal. Try on a Tuesday morning when you've been out drinking all weekend and you're on work on a Tuesday morning completely depressed. You know, so it's like, it's just one of these things. Yes, they laughed at Robin Williams. Sheep run scared, boy. Sheep run scared. Dr. Eric Berg. I don't know that guy. But I will Google him right now. I bet you I've watched him before. No. Guys, it is something that will probably become a wee bit more mainstream. It's just, you know, there's things come in fits and waves and starts and stuff, and I think again that men's mental health will, it just needs it, doesn't it? You have all these people that you know, as you said, Robin Williams, they laughed at Robin Williams, you know. It's just insane that you think of these people who are Jekyll and Hyde and everything, you know, Jekyll and hiding, you know, they're everybody, you know, we all have heard the story about the life and soul of the party, you know. Oh, everybody loved him, he was always singing and dancing, having a crack, and goes home and kills himself, you know. We've all heard the tale, you know, and this is it. If you don't talk, people won't listen, you know. Building mental fortitude is really important, and it's not that difficult. You just got to work on it. You just got to work on it. You got to find something that works for you. You know, stoicism for me is something that I found that really just resonated with me. It's you know, it's the ability to be able to sort of categorize things better. You know, the things that you have no control over don't matter, because why? You know, I can't control what that person thinks about me, so why should it bother me? It shouldn't. It should have no control at all over your life. You know, I should not suffer, you know, imagined troubles. I will not suffer. Not I should not. I will not suffer imagined troubles. I will not put myself in a position where I am thinking that all these things are going to happen. The world is going to end. The dinosaur is going to eat my dog. My dog's going to get married to a pig. You know, none of those things are going to happen. Why should I worry about them? You know, and even if they do, you know, that's when you deal with those things. And you're never really dealing. You should only deal with the thing. You should not deal with your emotion on the thing. Okay, that's what it is. Guys, that is like a really stupid way of me saying it. I'm probably got all them wrong. Seneca's probably turning in his grave right now. But that's it. You know yourselves, guys. Thank you, Stuart. I'm in Northern Ireland, Sogs. I'm in County Armagh. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Bit of an absolutely random one. Simon, I'm an outdoor pursuits instructor all my life. I've always been outside. A large part of what happened to me was I ended up working in a 12-hour shift computer job, and that's where I hurt my back. You know, why? You see that? I'll bring an axe. You see your message, Sogs. YouTube hid that. I had to approve it. Exactly, Pat. Exactly, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty.